Hey everyone, Dustin here. We are playing Starfinder. Welcome to Never Split the Party. This is season 2, episode 18, tentatively named The Lord of the Things, mostly because I needed a name and I don't know what they're doing tonight, so we're going to go with that. If you guys are just joining us, we are doing Starfinder. Our campaign's name is Mostly Harmful, which is pretty accurate and also a reference-ish to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Tons of fun stuff. I am the GM for this evening and most evenings, except for that month off I took in November, where I made Chris do the things. And that one time Nick did an extendo room dungeon, which, was fun. We just got through some stuff that I'll go through in a bit. First, I want to introduce the lovely cast plus Pat, and we'll get going from there. Guys, take it away.
I go first. I'm Nick.
You sound. Oh,
I think after this he goes last.
No, we're going with the clockwise thing.
It never broke when I went first.
No, I'm just so excited.
Right,
this is different.
I know, but you've gone first for like 3 weeks now. So
I'm still very excited about it.
All right.
I'm Nick. I play Dren. He's the pirate captain who totally kidnapped the crew and landed us in the situation we're currently in. But don't worry, I got a plan. We're gonna get us out of this, or I'm gonna get us out of this.
For just a sec, Nick. We are a family-friendly stream.
We are not.
We
try to be. We try to be.
More or less.
You're gonna say that, then somebody's gonna have it on play in front of their 7-year-old kid, and that 7-year-old kid is gonna be like, "What is a donkey sponge?"
We've never, no. At least we're PG-13. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Nick. I just wanted to make sure we cleared the air. I know slip of the tongues happen, but so far we've got the one swear word you guys came up with, which was spoop, and yeah, that's about as adult as you.
Very creative.
Have not used that in a couple episodes.
I used it. It's fine. All right, Nick. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Who is next? Patrick.
I didn't say what class I was.
I don't. Okay, sure, Patrick. I'm sorry, Nick.
You guys interrupted me, and then you're like, "Okay, you don't get the rest of your introduction."
That was by design.
I am a Marikoi Solarian. Okay. His gimmick is his weapon's on his tail because he can use it like a hand. Okay, now I'm done.
My name is Patrick, and I'm playing Reich Oren. He is the captain of this crew. He was kidnapped by Dren Monkey Suit Dagger Tail.
Yeah, that's the one.
And
nailed
it. Which put him into the situation that we're in. But don't worry, he has a plan.
All right, I just assume that's my cue, and I am Michael, and I am playing Zero, the android operative pilot guy that gets right out of trouble when he gets us into trouble.
No, I'm sorry. So there was a thing going, right, where someone says something, the next person says the same thing. You were supposed to say, I'm Mike, I'm playing Zero, who was kidnapped by Dren, make up a last name.
I could have got out whenever I wanted.
Blah, 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 blah.
I can walk through walls, all right?
Rye did not get us into the situation.
Eventually.
I mean, he led the party to Dren.
Can I go? All right,
as long as you make fun of Nick.
I'm Chris, and though I'm not going to make fun of Nick, I play the character Shirket, who is currently engaged to Rye.
Incorrect.
And technically, Shirket's not here because of...
Shirket is also a Belita, a millipede-like creature, and also Solarian as well.
Yucky.
And here by choice.
And that's everybody.
And here by choice.
That's totally everybody, yep. My name is Justin. I play Seeker, the android technomancer and artist, and apparently also pretty good at cooking. A star on whatever that show was. Spell's Kitchen. I don't know.
Hell Plains Kitchen.
Hell Plains Kitchen. There you go.
Yeah. All right. So we are
perfect intro. Perfect intro.
Yeah.
We
easily our best one in the span
best
of
intro.
It only took us 5 minutes this time.
Yeah. All right. We are gathered today on the planet of Eox, where the party has been shanghaied partially by Dren, which didn't work out so well for him, and marooned inside an impervious dome, which for those of us who listen to or watch season 1 are somewhat familiar with. this particular dome has been rebranded the Most Dangerous Game Show and is a fun little offshoot of the Eoxian Death Games. It is run a bit like Survivor versus the Hunger Games. The party just recently partook in a series of game shows that was hosted by the Church of Reality. They all came through mostly unscathed. They all got to speak to a really lovely, cool little oracle dude there. They got their questions answered. I don't think any of them asked the right question, which is fine. The answer would have been 42. And now I'm really afraid to say they're kind of directionless. I gave them, the GM recommend you go here. But if you guys are watching on Twitch, you'll see that we do have a little bit of a map where there are different locations where they can go. And knowing the party, they very rarely listen to me. I'm going to, unless we have any news or updates, I don't think we do. You guys good?
No, so I took a note last time. And
Okay.
the note was we needed to talk about the after party at the beginning of the episode.
Right. Okay.
Because it doesn't make any sense to talk about it while we're filming the after party.
Okay, fine. Every night or every Tuesday night that we stream, which is every Tuesday night, except for Christmas, apparently, you lazy bastards, we do an after party. That starts when our stream ends at 10:30, and then we just go and we kind of talk shop. We talk about the show. We talk about, new releases coming from Starfinder. We talk about whatever is kind of topical, and probably I'll bring up Gundam in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, usually nerd culture gets brought up immediately.
Yeah, that's fine. The reason why we're bringing it up now is while you can always watch it if you are on Twitch, and it will always be available there every Tuesday night, you just kind of hang out until after the show. It does not get put up to YouTube publicly, and it does not get added to the end of the actual shows that we upload. So if you want to get access to that material, or if you're in the audio land listening to our half-edited podcasts, you can still get access by subscribing to our Patreon, which is bit.ly/neverpatreon. Any tier gets access to all of the recorded after parties. I don't know how many Justin has actually put up so far, but we're doing it for everyone going forward. Justin made a terrible face there.
Well, I have them all downloaded.
I know you do. And we have a couple of the older ones that we'll be putting up there as well. No particular order or anything. It's just we're trying to give some extra content out there for people who can't find us. We'll also be doing some special podcast only episodes that aren't on anything else, but I still have to figure out exactly what that structure is going to be, because I'm probably going to be the only one doing it, which is going to be fun. I'll play everyone. It's fine. I can do it. It's fine. It's no problem.
Everybody's going to participate. It's going to be the greatest, the best projects.
We'll see how it goes. All right. Moving on with our lovely Starfinder mess that you guys have in front of you. You are literally outside of this old Gothic style Church of Reality. Brother Gavin has waved you off and receded back into the dark recesses of the church. And you are now kind of oriented towards one of the barrier forests. I should probably move where you guys are in Roll20 on that over map. You guys are here. You are he directed you to go that would be eastward towards the barrier forest. The barrier forest you did not pass. So you guys came from the southern barrier forest. He recommended you hit up Industrial Town because it's going to have the highest population. It'll have probably most of the information you're looking for, and while it will definitely have some people out for your necks because you're kind of a hot commodity inside of the Most Dangerous Game Show, it also probably has the biggest collection of reasonable folks. That being said, and that is not a GM push, you guys can go to any direction you guys have on the map. I'm going to very briefly go over kind of where we are in like a clockwise scenario, what's going on in the map. As you guys kind of saw when you were falling into the dome itself. Feel free to interrupt with questions, or just keep in mind as to what you guys want to have as a discussion as a group in terms of next plans. All right, so directly north of where you guys are, there is a range of mountains that looked pretty high and formidable, probably, if not impassable, would take a severe amount of time and equipment that you guys did not really come prepared with. North of this mountain barrier is was a tower jutting out of the landscape, a desolate, barren landscape that you were able to see. Going east from that, there was a set of ruins set in a forest. To the northeastern corner, there was a large fortress surrounded by frost-covered ground and just dead trees as far as you could see. As you get south of that, there are, days of travel in between these, as we found out. There is a small collection of huts. You couldn't see too much about them when you guys were dropping in, but the huts themselves were kind of rudimentary looking, not up to the technological standards any of you guys have had in any of your living establishments, except maybe the Yusokis who are no longer among you, who were kind of less particular about where they lived. You got some spotted forests throughout, and then you get into the southeastern corner, and that's what you guys know as the arena. Dren is somewhat familiar with the arena as, a place where fighting is done. And I don't think you guys have learned too much else about that. Due south, like mid-south, is just a larger forest. And then we get to Water's Edge, which is actually where you guys landed, and that's in the southwestern edge of the map. Dead center is Industrial Town, which is named after what this dome used to be called, which was Industrial Dome when it was a part of Pyramid Station Alpha, which, again, all Season 1 shenanigans, which is available on YouTube if anyone needs to get caught up, or also in our audio podcast. All of Season 1 is on the audio podcast. Season 2, much less so. All right, folks, I'm turning it over to you. What is your plan? Or talk amongst yourselves as to kind of where your characters want to go next.
So just to set up the scene a bit more, last scene that we had, we were talking to brother Gavin pronunciation.
I say Gavin, but it's got 2 A's, so do what you want.
Yeah, Gavin, and we were escorted out of the Church of Reality in a very timely manner because we ran out of time. So we are just exiting the Church of Reality.
Okay.
And then yes, Chris?
Oh, all right. I thought that's where you were going to stop your...
Yep. Nobody said anything, so I was like, and
then,
stuff.
Well, I thought I just legit said that, which is why I'm confused.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, I
Brother
had to
Gavin
get
just
the party
literally into the dark recesses of the.
He was addressing a camera, I believe.
Yeah, probably. How about you?
All right. So Sheerkat just kind of nuzzles up next to Rye and says, "Oh, well, where are we going?"
I think, because nobody else is, that we should pass through the forest off to the east, but we should go to the north and skirt the edge of the mountains.
Well, that sounds like a good idea to me. We don't want to go back to Water's Edge at all?
We were just there. Why would we want to go back?
Well, the guy said to come back at some point.
If I do remember
what's the
correctly,
timeline?
say in a few weeks' time.
How long have we been here, Dustin?
That's a good point.
Let's
Couple
see.
days.
You landed, and it took about 2 days travel to get to the Church of Reality. So you've probably been here no more than 2 days. We'll round up to 3 because it was like a half-day travel. We'll round to 3 days in.
Mhm.
Listen,
I'm just
everybody
asking.
knows that we were at the Church of Reality, so they expect us to be emerging from one of the 2 forests to the east and to the south. We've already been broadcasted that we were over by Water's Edge, so we don't want to go back that way. It makes sense of us to skirt the mountains to the north because then we'll have the mountains at our side, and then nobody's going to want to travel that far north just to look for us. They'll expect us to come out on the southern end of the forest or through the middle.
And why should we stop at Industrial Town, Mr. Monkey Pirate?
Well, that's where you're going to find the most people. Better chance of getting I guess there's no... I got this. I pull out a coin, and it's not a real coin because people don't use coins in this time.
I mean, you could have an archaic coin. It's fine.
Yep. So I pull out a coin,
Two-Face.
and so better chance of getting a token, and I pull out this coin.
Is that a token?
It is not a token.
Okay.
Should we sense motive on that?
Good point. We don't even know what tokens look like.
True.
Actually,
Wait,
Drench,
I do know what tokens look like.
What do they look like, Dren?
They look like a coin. That is not the one that I currently have in my hand.
Sense motive.
Well, it's canon now because he said it. It's not what I had, but I'll allow it.
I'm building the world.
No,
I-
it's
Does it
fine.
actually look like a golden
I
ticket?
don't even bother to sense motive, because using intuition and logic, if he came here with a token, he'd be like, all right, here you go, hand it right back to him and be out.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially since we have no idea of his loyalty. So I'm convinced it's not. I'm not even going to bother to roll. But
Yeah, I would have been long gone.
explaining that.
Well, let's go.
Yes, lead the way, Captain. Dren.
I visibly turn slowly to Seeker and say, I'm sure that's simply because you're not used to other people giving commands.
Well, I was
Do that
actually.
again,
Well-
and I swear you'll be calling somebody else captain.
Well, I was actually going to ask you to lead the way, but I knew you wouldn't, so I asked Dren instead.
Plus, you don't even look like a captain. You don't have a hat.
The fact of the matter
He's got
is,
a
That's what he
point.
does.
He's
He
got a
does have
really
that.
good point.
Does
I,
he
sh-
have a
I
hat?
the, f-
No.
the fact of the matter is, going back into my angry voice from season 1, the fact of the matter is that I've not been in this area before outside of Industrial Town. Monkey has. I defer to the most knowledgeable person.
Oh, that would be me. Oh, about. Never
Ding
mind.
That's
If
the
the-
voice you used when you talked to Brawl.
If Monkey Man wants to go north, and he's convinced that that's the safest route, then I'm convinced that he's convinced that that's the safest route.
And if Rye's convinced, the monkey pirate is convinced that the and just keep going.
As we start walking, Seeger kind of just like is patting Reich on the back, like it was just a joke. Come on.
You don't do jokes.
And every time your hand touches his shoulder, you just hear angry clicking on the opposite side.
You remember that time you joked about shooting Brawl and things escalated?
I don't remember that time.
All right. Moving on. One small note for travel. We actually asked people on Twitter and in our Discord to submit some random encounters you guys can encounter while, yeah, that was redundant. That's fine. While you guys are traveling through the most dangerous game show. I'm going to roll a d20. Actually, you know what? I'll do this one in. We don't have a roll window on.
Do you want me to roll it? I can improv. Okay, look at this. Ooh.
Okay, I will let
Alright.
Nick roll the random encounter every full day of travel, i.e., every 2 hexes on this map. We will be rolling. Could you stop shaking it? You're giving me.
I'm okay.
He's excited. Leave him alone.
I'm trying to roll my die.
All right. For every day of travel, we'll do 1 roll. I have 5 empty gaps at the end, numbers 16 through 20. They're just empty because we haven't filled them in yet. I've got a couple of non-encounters here, and otherwise we'll have a couple of random encounters throughout the dome. It's supposed to highlight. I don't usually do random encounters as a GM. I don't love them because I don't want to slow things down for the show. It's going to be part of the attrition war against you guys because you do not have a way to resupply while you are in this dome. That's going to be a long time. So we'll see how this goes. All right. Nick, I will let you roll first, and then I'm going to have you move the party since you took the lead. Go ahead and give me a roll of a d20 there, please.
You got it. How's about a 4?
Blurry as heck, but let me see.
Yeah, I didn't give you time to focus. It's okay.
Do you want any passive perception numbers for everybody or anything like that?
Yeah, give me your passive perceptions. I'll go with that.
Just 10 plus, right?
10 plus your modifier, right?
Well, it'd be nice if I had my character sheet up.
So we got Seeker, we got Zero, we got Rye, we have Shirket, and we've got Dren. The latter 2 are new to the party, hence some of our hesitancy. What do we got?
I got 20 altogether.
20 from Sheer Ket for passive perception.
And Zero's is also 20.
Okay.
16.
All right.
17.
And Rye.
19.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, you know, it'd be really cool if we had like a spreadsheet that somebody made that we could track all this sort of thing on. It'd be really
I made it.
nice.
It's right here. I got it. We're good.
Shout out to Office Max.
Yeah, Justin, it'd be really nice if you could
no
get on that.
way related to our Max.
Yeah. All right. Fine. All right. Dren, what is your path that you're taking for the first day? You get 2 hexes of movement, and then I gotta do some things.
All right. Are we starting in the exact location that we are at the bottom center of that cathedral?
Yep.
All right. We'll probably stick as close to the building as we can, and then head up that way. Just
That building is not to
Northeast.
scale. It is not several days of travel to get around the church. It's kind of the area proper of the
Sure.
vicinity of the church. All right, so you guys travel for a day. In terms of what you guys see, it's small rolling hills that lead up to this barrier forest, which is kind of creepy and foreboding, considering those aren't trees. Past experience, kind of giving you that info. You do have a bit of a path to get through the barrier forest, but only during the day. So there's some concern to be had there. And as night falls, periodically different things show up on the dome in terms of televised events. Now, sometimes they are adverts. You see an old Crunchy Crunch cereal ad running through, and Saltazar, the undead Eoxian who kind of runs this place, pops on after that commercial airs, wipes away a completely dry face because he's got dead, desiccated skin, and he says, "Man, I miss Crunchy Crunch. It was, well, damn right, lethal to eat, but that's all the better. I'm going to air that commercial every night just so you all feel as bad as I do that they discontinued it. Ah, Crunchy Crunch." Other adverts that are a little bit more topical do show up. You get stuff from the Border Space Union advertising different, Walmart style stuffs. You get a couple of military style advertisements going in. These aren't so much for the people inside of the dome. Some of them are. The Crunchy Crunch things of the rile them up motion. You guys are always being televised in some way, shape, or form. In terms of how that works for you as players, periodically I may ask for perception checks, and if you hit the right target, you'll see if the camera's there or not. I'll ask randomly. There may not be cameras, there may be cameras. They're mostly floating drones, but there may be some other options. If there's no camera present, you're not being filmed to the point where you're being broadcast. Every action in the dome is recorded in some extent, and Dren can kind of give you that info because he's had some background there. But in terms of what everyone in the dome has the access to see, there needs to be a camera present. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
you're not your location is not being constantly broadcast to everyone who wants your gets. That being said, you never know what Saltazar is going to do. He's been kind of a prick so far, and he's clearly not playing fair. I think that's pretty much obvious from everything he's done so far.
I just want to point out that he's broadcasting the Crunchy Crunch advert, which you can no longer purchase.
Yeah. That's Crunchy Crunch has been discontinued, which is why he's showing it as kind of like now you have to feel as bad as I do that it's gone.
Miller, somewhere in the galaxy, is feeling
Speaking of
a little
food,
hungry.
how are we looking for rations?
I'm not worrying about it.
Okay.
This isn't quite so barren that there isn't food, because starvation isn't a sexy thing to watch on daytime television. So for the most part, foraging still works fine. You guys are capable of foraging when you're not under duress, and this isn't like a constantly barren wasteland. When you guys get into, if you go up to the actual barren wasteland, maybe it comes into play, but for the most part, don't worry about it. But ammo and weaponry and grenades and supplies along that nature is going to be important. Also, there will be events that target your equipment. In terms of your first night of sleep, how do you guys rest as a party? In terms of tents and everything, I assume you don't have anything. I don't know if any of your guys' kits came with sleeping wear. So you guys are already pretty much uncomfortable. We're not getting great rest, which will impact how you guys heal over your time here. in terms of like more mechanically though, like what's your setup? You have two newcomers, Shirket, the overeager Rye fan, slash possible murdering assassin crazy thing. I'm not sure. And then we've got
that could be
Marikoi.
that to describe anybody in this group except for Rye.
Yep.
Actually, no, even Rye, because Rye has murdered a bunch of people. So yeah, you can.
I wouldn't.
Everybody in this whole group, you could probably use that same exact, except without the Reich fanboy.
I wouldn't call it murder.
Yeah, and that's why you're the murderer. That's fine.
Self-defense.
Yep. For Dren, the race I've literally already forgotten because I keep wanting to say
Marikoi.
I want to say Marikoi, but I think that's like a
America
faction.
Marikoi.
The Dren. Dren is the literal pirate that captured you, and you guys are kind of traveling with him under duress because, you know,
duress.
He's one of the few. What did I say?
Duress.
You stressed it weird.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
funny.
Just correct me. It's fine. I'm gonna roll with it.
I did.
And in again, it's mostly kind of tense relationships there. So, what is your deal when you go to sleep? Because I'm not using the sleeper's passive perception.
Well, obviously we'd take turns, I'm sure.
Last time I went to sleep, I got attacked by a bear in a costume.
I did too.
So this time I'm probably going to stay awake for a little bit.
So I imagine we keep at least 2 people awake.
Okay, just give me, so there are 5 of you. Give me the order. I'll say that there's 3 shifts, and I just want to know, because I'll check against who's getting kind of...
Ryan Shearcat, take first shift.
Okay, Ryan Shearcat, first shift. And I'm going to keep this going.
They're probably going to be making out in the woods or something.
So I don't have to ask this again. Who is second shift?
Me.
Brennan, 0.
Gonna say, do we want one of us with Dren, or
the only person I trust by themselves is 0.
So you're gonna put me by myself? All right.
No. I
He's
just
putting you with
realized
Dren.
the only
Dren doesn't want to get up. He's not going last.
Well, 0 just volunteered to take second with Dren, so
Wait, did you
Seeker's
just
by
say
himself.
Dren doesn't want to get up,
In the middle of the night?
so he's gonna wake up for
Second would be
second shift
worse.
and not third.
Yeah.
Might I
don't-
suggest?
I was going to take first, but you two already called it.
Might I suggest me and Dren? Because I think
Yeah, that's fine.
0's got a lot more perception than I do.
All right, so 0, you're solo on third shift. Any problems?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, that's probably what 0 wants.
Well, no, so 0, I would imagine, wanted to keep an eye on me, make sure I didn't do anything, is what I would guess.
Well, I also
No,
don't
no,
trust
exactly.
Seeker
100%.
with Dren, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I don't trust anyone.
Well,
in
that's
this
okay.
situation
I'll
that's
be
gonna
the
do
one.
anything except for guard Rye specifically. So it's moot. It's a moot point.
I really wanted to be with Rye as well, but I figured I'd let the lovebirds do their thing. They can stare at
Actually-
each other all night long like we stared at each other.
Hey,
Wait,
Shearcat,
no.
at any point in time, feel free to just gnaw on Seeker's ankle. Just give him a good, not enough to don't hurt him, don't kill him, but just to let him know you don't appreciate
Shearcat
being too.
turns at Seeker.
Yeah, the gross mandibles click back and forth. Gross.
Oh,
Does
that's
that
right.
sound anything like what a Sheeran would sound like, specifically during...
Sharon Synthwave.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess you could probably hear some.
You
Some-
know that song? I
My
love
friend.
that song.
You're so dumb. All of my friends.
All right, I'm rolling to see which watch is getting tested here. Watch 1, which is Shearcat and Rye.
Could we do a little in character stuff?
Yeah, please go for it.
No.
Thought that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So
Well, no, so night falls. The fake day is dissipated, and fake night rolls into the dome. The stars are supposedly out. Some foreign moon is up, but it is obviously a vid screen kind of covering your sky. The rest of the party goes into an uncomfortable, fitful sleep, maybe pondering over the questions that they got answers to from the oracle. And sorry, 0, shoot.
Just in case it matters, because of what happened last time, 0 sleeps with his weapon like at the ready, so that if we get woken up fast, like it's instantly grabbable.
That's fair. I'll allow it.
So Sheerket actually is very, very diligent in its guard. Has the large halberd light beam just at the ready, and slowly makes its way towards Rye.
Does that produce light?
It does a very small amount, but I can actually diminish it at will. But walks up to Rye and says, "Remember your first and your more successful play, The Gnome and I, the one that you were always known for, the one that really took your career off?"
I don't know as though I would say that was the one, but yes, I remember it.
I was there in that crowd watching. That was the day I knew I wanted to be by your side.
Were you sent there to kill me?
No, just another noble. The noble didn't live, if it's any consolation. You survived.
Saying that I wasn't the target is consolation enough, I think.
Well, I mean, you were a target. You were my target. I decided not to.
Yeah, this time. Which is good. Good job. I'm clearly uncomfortable.
As the millipede-looking creature tries to flirt with you, yes.
It's not so much flirting. Actually, it's being very, very, I don't want to say distant, but very, very mindful of the personal bubble, so to say. And kind of sensing the whole awkwardness, Sheerket just kind of goes silent and takes patrol elsewhere.
Okay.
Around the camp.
All right. And as you guys are
As
out,
he walks away, I just go, I have fans everywhere.
so far that tracks. I'm going to do, let's see, I don't think I have a skill check for the species I want, so I will randomly pull from my excessively used first contact book yeah, we'll do this one. All right. And nice, you guys actually hear nothing. Your watch goes through perfectly fine. You see no disturbances. The rolling hills make it so you can't see too far, but the night is quiet except for like the ambient sound they're pumping over all the speakers, which is basically crickets and then a random grenade going off every 33 minutes, just because that's what they feel like night should be like in the dome. And as you're retiring your watch, and you go to wake second shift.
Just real quick. So when oh god, my brain just broke. Sheerket comes back before trading off the shifts. I just recite some lines from one of the war plays that I had been in one of my lesser known roles. Just to like, yeah.
But what's the quote?
The quote: "War never changes much."
Very elegant.
Yes, it does.
Pretty sure we're still getting sued. Great.
That's your famous monologue from Post-Apocalyptica 3. I saw that one.
Did you say host Apocalyptica?
Host.
Damn it.
And then I said,
You might be a host.
As I hear bombs going off on the background, I say, "May have been on the losing side. Still not convinced it was the wrong one."
See, now you're pandering, and I
Yeah.
like it. So keep
Yeah.
more of that, more of that. And hey, Nick, how's Firefly going?
I've watched one episode. Progress.
Dren
So
might
you know
not
that.
wake
So you
up.
know that one then.
He should know that one, right?
Yeah.
I
the
was
first
not
episode.
paying attention. I'm asleep.
So you've watched none episodes.
No, I've watched an episode, but I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying. I'm sleeping.
Oh.
That's painful.
I let Nick borrow my Blu-ray copy of Firefly and Serenity, so he'll actually watch them.
He won't though.
Clearly a roll two on that one.
I made progress.
Yeah, okay.
It's more than I watched before.
Sheer Cat falls asleep all happy and dream filled.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and
Ryan
as
falls
you
asleep, happy that he has a fan.
as you sub in Dren and Seeker, Dren and Seeker, you wake up and you notice something a little odd about your equipment. Because of Nick's roll of the 4. When you wake up, you find that your left shoes and one of your items of ammo, I'll let you guys randomly roll to see which ammo item that is, has actually been stolen from your equipment. So you are missing left shoes or boots, what
Who is
have
this
you.
missing?
Actually, everyone who wasn't on watch, but they're the only two that have woken up. So Zero, Seeker, and Zero,
How
Seeker,
do you
and Dren.
determine that? A clip
What was that?
for the ammo. How do you want to determine it? A full clip of ammo?
Yeah, it'd be like a full item, like a magazine or a clip, and I'll let you basically just roll. If you only have the 2 types, it'll be a D1, D2. That's fine.
I have
Also-
one battery in my weapon.
Well, it wouldn't be from your weapon.
Okay, so only from okay.
Yeah, from your actual, like your equipment pouches that you might not have actually had on you while you slept, because that's really uncomfortable. So feel free to roll for that. Let us know which ammo item you're losing. Again, roll if you have 3 types of ammo. Roll a D3 and pick yourself.
I only have batteries, so I lost a battery.
You lost a battery, which really sucks for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure you're tracking this.
So I'm using sniper ammo. I want to know how much you want me to lose because technically my gun does things of 1. I have to reload every shot.
They took literally a bullet then.
Okay.
And who else was the other one? Oh, Dren. Dren, you're missing your left fancy boot. And do you carry ammo?
I do have ammo. I do have a sidearm that I carry with me.
And is it energy or is it kinetic?
It is it's an arc pistol.
So
energy.
Okay, and did you have any spare batteries?
I thought I did. Where did I denote that?
Well, they really
yes.
took it from you. Took it right off your character sheet. Well, however many spare batteries you have one less.
Okay. I think I had just the one, so I'm down to 1 battery.
Yeah, you're down to the one in chambered. All right.
Seeker sees his missing shoe and says, I know Rye gave him permission to chew, or whatever it is, to chew on my foot, but I didn't think you would really do it.
Sheer Cat snores happily.
And interestingly enough, Seeker may or may not have noticed beforehand, but now that my left boot is also missing, you notice that the bottom half of my left leg is mechanical.
You have a
I thought you were
mechanical
gonna say it
leg.
was a peg.
Just take the boot away. Ah, it's a peg leg.
Can I hack it?
I mean, there's no computer there,
Oh.
so
I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
you really think that Sheerkat eats shoes? Because I don't want to lose the other one.
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. It could have been him.
It is
Could've.
just you two awake right now, unless you're addressing the others.
I
No,
don't really want to wake it.
well, I'm not. On the game show I was a part of, it said it disemboweled people, and I don't want that to be me.
That sounds fun. On my
I
game
mean-
show, I got to cook a bunch.
Yes.
So what you're saying is you literally are just going to go around on patrol with one shoe and just like roll with it. That's the plan?
For me, my leg's mechanical. I don't care.
I mean,
Fair.
unless our
clean it
shoes
up.
just got up and walked away, which, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Has that happened to you before? Your boot has gotten off of your person and walked away.
Not my boot. No, it hasn't.
I like sardonic, Nick. I'll take that. Secret, give me a
yeah.
perception
I
check.
was gonna say, let me do a perception.
I'm going to use their original roll.
25.
What was that?
25.
Oh, you literally beat it by 1. Nice. They had rolled a 24, which beats
I got a 24.
No, nailed it. All right. You guys see there are tiny footprints throughout the camp that you hadn't seen when you guys set up. They are definitely of a smaller creature, roughly humanoid in shape. It's kind of hard to say. There's more than one of the creatures. It seems that they walked all throughout the camp and plucked items from your sitch, being specifically, was it left shoe? Did I say left shoe?
Left. Yep.
Okay, left shoe, and if you notice going through your pack, only one item of ammo from you, and then you can clearly see the path as to where they go. They go. I guess I should put them. They go. They lead off northwest, kind of a little bit back towards the direction you came from, but still going north.
Well, it might not be a good idea to leave camp right now. But it looks like something took it. It wasn't Sheerkat after all.
These are very tiny, like footprints, or no?
Yeah, if you want to roll, probably life science. You could probably figure out what the creatures are.
Are we dealing with
What about?
borrowers?
No, you're not dealing with borrowers. Not tiny
They're
footprints.
left shoe gnomes.
I do not
Underpants,
have
man.
life science trained in it, and it is a trained check.
I assume Seeker has it, right?
Hmm?
Life
What?
science?
Oh, yeah, I got life science.
Yeah,
What
give
do
me
you
a roll.
need?
Just roll me life science to see if you can identify the footprints.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a small bonus,
Oh,
too.
wow, I got a lot of life science.
Is it above a 10?
Yes.
Well, oh, your check's above a 10?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you auto
I
succeed.
got 13. Or I have plus 13, so I got
Oh,
18.
look, you got a 13 total.
No, I got 18 total.
Yeah, you're pretty sure because you've seen them like throughout the indecision. They look like goblin footprints.
Ah, these look like goblin footprints. How nice. Or not.
And by like make of them, you can make out 6 distinct footprints.
There looks to be exactly
God
6
damn it, Justin.
distinct footprints.
You expected better of us?
Right. Well, I'd say 6 goblins. Probably not the best thing for us to really kind of follow at the moment. Not with everybody. Just in case they went back to, like, I don't know, a hideout or whatever they have. Our goblin back on the ship likes to make all sorts of things.
You two have a ship goblin?
You have a ship goblin?
Of course we have a ship goblin. Everybody does.
Well, we had 2 of them, and one of them we were going to use.
He
as a
works in the
mascot.
engineering room, right?
So did wow. His name's not Sob, is it?
I've never thought to ask. Perhaps you can.
Jesus!
We didn't ask. One of our older friends named him that. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. So
He
we didn't
does
really
know
ask.
Miller. He did capture him and sell him off to Krellis.
Oh, that's true. That's right. You do know Miller. Anyway, should we just kind of ignore that for now? Wake everybody up? What do you think?
I mean, we could either wake everybody up, or we could just wait till the morning. Everybody gets a nice night's sleep and we get it fresh in the morning.
True. Do you feel fine walking around without one shoe?
I'm great. I don't got any feeling in this thing anyway.
Oh, that's a good point. How'd you get that?
It's a tale for another time. Let's just say I crossed weapons with the wrong person.
Ah. A tale of action.
How else is one to get a peg leg?
Um,
I didn't fall down like a hole that I clearly just stood over that was clearly marked.
I was gonna say you could fall
Right.
down something. I don't know, fall into a
Right,
meat grinder
angrily
or something.
farts in
I
his
don't know.
sleep.
Did you say Right angrily farts in his sleep?
Yeah, almost on cue.
Sheercat smiles or giggles happily in its sleep.
As you guys are trading jabs at this point, you hear you decide to kind of go about your patrols or rounds, one shoe each. You guys both actually hear a very soft squeaking sound, and maybe the light off of Dren's tail blade, which I'm sure he's igniting because why not? He's extra. Glimmers off of something a couple of, we'll say maybe 30 feet off, slowly approaching camp. In the darkness, it's hard to make out, even I think since none of you guys are actually affected by dark vision. It's staying low to the ground, whatever this thing that you saw, keeping whatever shrubbery it can in between you two. Do you guys go approach it as it makes its way to camp? Do you call out to your allies? Do you?
I mean, what? It was just like a little baby tiny squeak.
Sure. Yeah. Could have been maybe a little baby squeak, or like maybe it sounded like a mouse or metal scraping or something, and the glint was off of something metal.
How far away is it?
Say 30 feet.
Oh, 30 feet.
It's been
That's-
sneakily approaching the camp. However, it rolled a 3.
Oops.
Whoopsie. Yeah.
I'd probably go to approach it. Yep. That's what I'm gonna do.
I would probably I'd make a holographic image behind it, so if it tries to turn around and run away, it sees, let's say, that big bear that we encountered last time.
Did I name the bear? Was that Grizz?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably Grizz. All right, so you have the awakened bear hologram kind of sitting there statically behind where you saw this
Mhm.
as you guys approach. And as you clear the bushes, you come around, I assume ready for combat.
Yep.
You see a particularly strange creature. It looks kind of like 6 goblins made entirely out of a single unit made out of metal. It has 6 different sets of tiny legs shaped like goblins. It's got the large, oversized heads you guys have seen on the space goblins, familiar. The body itself is just like a machine. It looks almost like just a long piece of metal that has like shifting plates and compartments that seems to be always on the move. It seems like its form is probably adaptable. And all of these like heads are swiveling like with little, on different kind of tracks, but they all, when you guys approach, kind of swing to you. And there's these 6 weird looking goblin heads looking at you on this weird metallic creature that, again, looks to be about 6 goblins, except, again, very much a construct. It is a strange looking machine that, if you guys want to roll me, I don't know if this would be life science or something more tech heavy, but I don't know what tech heavy roles you guys would have for identifying
computers.
things.
There's
Is there engineering? Give me engineering.
Engineering would identify constructs.
Thank you. Give me engineering.
24.
I have physical science.
No, physical science wouldn't help you with this one. This is not a physical creature. What was that, Seeker?
24.
24. You catch on, or you have a bit of a guess that what you're looking at is probably some form of anisite. These are mechanical constructs that have been known to adapt their forms to their environment for any variety of reasons. And in terms of I don't have anything environment for. They're solar powered constructs. Let's see. Do I have anything more specific on them? Because you would probably know a bit more. So they're a race of machines left behind by eons departed masters, and they've developed the capacity for evolution and self-improvement, creating an entire mechanical ecosystem. They've got some kind of more common designs, and that's not what you're looking at now. But they range in size. Some get to the size of bulldozers, and some get to tiny little gnats. And they've been just around the galaxy for millennia, kind of doing their own thing. Let's see. You know that they lack basic sentience, but they still reproduce and they fill ecological niches inside of a particular planet or wherever they are. These particular ones are 4 feet, but the ones you're looking at is probably 6 feet long. Kind of walks like a goblin, creepy dog. That's probably about all you have for that. Based on that they are. Based on what the types they are, they can be quite deadly. And the one you're looking at being of a bigger size might be a little concerning in terms of combat prowess, because these creatures are pretty good at adapting and surviving, and sometimes that means doing a bit of the killing. But right now, it hasn't engaged you at all. It's all these little creepy heads have swiveled to you, locked on, and stopped.
Oh yeah, I can say I've never seen one of those before.
Well, I do know what that is, but I have never seen one like that. And I explain what you just explained.
Thank you for not actually saying what I just said. That's cool.
He doesn't know what you said.
If he did recite the entirety of what you said, I would have been very impressed.
Yeah, it would have taken a long time, so I figured, Well, it's an anisite, and anisites are actually... you know what? You do it. That's it.
As you give your
Seekers of
description...
Pokedex, got it.
The goblin feet start to take one cautious step backwards away from you without turning around yet, and they're slowly looking to retreat now that they've been discovered.
So they're not known for being especially violent. They might have to be at times. Do I know if they're more like animals sort of things?
Meaning?
Do they kind of
except they're like not sentient.
Like animals in terms of
intelligence.
Yeah, like you could be like, come here, sort of thing. Because that's what I'm gonna do.
No, they're very dumb.
Okay, so
they're very, very, very dumb. They are basically following some sort of internal programming.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't quite triggered anything fight or flight per se, but it is cautiously moving away. You could try talking to it. It does understand language, if that helps.
Huh. All right. I don't think I have anything to hack it at long range because I can't do that. So, do I have any magic for this? Not really. I don't really know what I can do. Not much.
Are these dangerous?
They're not known to be dangerous, but they could be if needed.
If they steal all of your shoes.
Well, if they steal our shoes, we're probably going to be the dangerous ones. But they didn't kill us. So that's good.
Back slowly, 3 sets of goblin legs picking up and stomping on the ground.
Could you please give back our shoes? I'm gonna call out to it, please, friend.
Give me a quick diplomacy check.
I don't have that.
Ooh. Could you please give us back our ammunition and our batteries?
Roll your diplomacy checks.
Mine was 12, which is good considering I have a negative.
16. Rolled kind of low.
Rye snores in a way that you would think he's rolling his eyes right now.
Out of the front of the goblin, which kind of looks like almost like a car body that's makes up their body because it's kind of a train looking thing. A little drawer pops out and it shoots out the ammo that it took, but it keeps the shoes and it slowly continues to retreat.
I'm okay with that. How far in front did it shoot it out? Directly in front, or did it kind of toss it a bit?
In terms of distance, it would have been in the same square it was.
Okay.
And as you kind of maybe go to approach it, it actually backs right through the holographic image of Grizz, sees the holographic image once it passes through and bolts, heading again northwest. It moves surprisingly quickly for its creepy legs and locomotion, which do seem to be a bit scattered, as if to give the appearance of 6 goblins running, despite it being one creature.
What about my shoe? Oh.
You guys got the ammo back. Anything you want to discuss amongst yourselves before you wrap up this bout of watch and wake up Zero?
I'm good.
Well, that was odd. Yeah, I'm good.
Eventually, Zero, they wake you up. You notice the missing shoe, but returned ammo. I assume they brief you, and it's your turn for watch. What do you make of things?
So because of that, I'll probably go a little bit further out than they did for my, I'll still keep view of like the camp, but I will go a little bit further out to make sure that nothing's sneaking up on us. And I'll attempt to do it stealthily since I can probably sneak in the dark better than it can.
No, yeah, that's fine. Give me some rolls. Give me an actual perception roll, because I won't use your passive for that one. And then give me your stealth check.
So 18 for perception.
Yep.
And 21 for stealth.
All right, you set up a bit of a perimeter. You prowl through the night as a good android does, and you encounter no additional disturbances. It does appear that the encounter with Seeker and Dren has set off the thing that was borrowing from your camp, and it did not return throughout the night. The path, while it is a bit twisting, you follow it for a little while to get an idea. It does seem to head straight towards the mountains, which are roughly a day's travel in that direction. Whether it stops there or not, you wouldn't have gone that far, but it does seem to head almost like a beeline. Again, it walks weird, like it shifts its body around, so the legs are stamping, so it kind of looks like a horde of the little goblin things as it heads towards the mountain, but you don't actually encounter it again.
All right. Other than that, I suppose I'd just wait till morning.
Okay. As everyone wakes up, Rye and Shirket, do you wear shoes?
Nope.
Okay.
So like, if everybody tells me, what are these feet device you folks are talking about? Also,
has no idea what a shoe is.
Also, I have no ammo or batteries, so I don't care.
Well, nothing was stolen from you anyways.
Sure.
Neither was anything stolen from Rye.
Rye might be missing a shoe, though.
Yeah.
And Zero might have a new left shoe.
Would you like to make
I
that
can still use a shoe. Guess who's gonna have to cart him
That
around?
was just a joke. I wouldn't take it.
Oh.
Probably wouldn't fit.
Okay.
It'd be too small.
All right.
Hey, Shirket, at first I thought you ate my shoe.
Yeah. If I get hungry enough, I'll just eat your foot.
That laughs in character.
Everything he says is
actually
gonna
laughed
freak
at
me out because I'm not fond of bugs. I'm doing a giant millipede thing eating someone's foot, and I don't
Well,
like.
the thing is, millipedes are I don't think they're carnivorous. I believe they just eat leaves.
Have you seen the picture of the bolita? They're carnivorous.
Shit.
Does Shirket not have to wear a spacesuit?
Why?
I'm just wondering in terms of if you've ever put on like space boots.
It's a space onesie
It's a space onesie.
It's just a
with that weirdly accommodates the like 40 arms.
Where the snail tail comes out, that's magnetic.
Okay,
Just a big
fine.
magnetic snail tail.
Fine. Moving on. What are you guys doing about the case of the missing shoes?
Buy more shoes in the town with whatever money they'll take, which I don't know if they take credits or not.
Okay, so chalking it up as lost shoes.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I don't need another shoe for that foot.
I guess they do have feet. Never mind. I'm looking at them. They definitely do have feet that they walk around. They just have a lot of feet.
Yeah, but do they have a lot of boots?
Is he missing every left boot?
The pictures have them missing every left boot in particular. Yes.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. You guys can thank.
I broke Patrick.
No. I'm going to call that encounter wrapped up. You did not complete the bonus portion of it. However, that came from the masked ferret. Yeah, and that was for your roll of 4, Nick. That's your fault. You don't have shoes anymore. Yeah. So that's their Discord handle. I have no idea if they're the same under Twitch, but the masked ferret was the one who submitted that for our season 2 roll table.
Would that just be a raccoon?
I don't know, and I suspect we're getting off topic.
We are.
All right, now shoeless and moving in your direction. Dren, I have given you control of the party so that you can manipulate the token on the world map. If as you approach the barrier forest, you guys know that the barrier forest is kind of a dead zone. No one is going to harass you in the barrier forest. I'm not going to make you guys roll when you travel to or from it. So you have a couple of days of travel unimpeded. That's stuff that you guys just know that the force itself is kind of safe. You don't need the meta knowledge of I'm not rolling on the table, but there it is. The meta knowledge is barrier forest. No one wants to be anywhere near that. You guys, when you make it there, I assume you're going to go the closest path to the northern part of yeah. Okay. So as you make it there for a day of travel, night falls as you hit the tree line, and knowing that these giant, creepy, massive, carnivorous, caterpillar-looking things standing straight up into the sky start quivering at night. You decide to hunker down and set up camp again. The watch, you do the same order. Maybe you're a little bit more aware of your surroundings this time around. But again, nothing happens. The Anasite thing does not stalk you any further. It's off offering its left shoes collection to its god, which is the bonus content is that you missed. Which is a cute little thing in the mountains if you ever background that part. I should put a little Anasite token there. I'll do it later. And I'll forget totally. You go through your 3 shifts of watch. Days pass fine. And you guys are able to travel again. I'm assuming following the mountain range, you continue heading inward into the mountain. You spend time going through the forest. You have the weird markings, and Shirkat has a number of the weird markings.
I have a number of them all over my arms.
Yeah, from Brother Gavin, which is apparently he called it validated parking? Is that what he had said? Yeah, you validated your parking, so you're able to walk through the barrier forest without issue. As you pass through and you clear the actual other side, the markings and all of Shirket's arms and whomever else it's stamped, I can't remember who got it, does fade. It was a one-time validation to get through the barrier forest.
Looks like it was a one-time validation.
So all of them expired, not just one of them upon Shirket's arms?
No, it's a as you pass through, anything that's there gets wiped.
Gotcha.
That's also why I only stamped one of you, because it was useless to stamp more. All right, so you guys get through. You're falling along the mountains. There are no particular issues. You move through 2 more days. I assume you're heading towards Industrial Town. Am I wrong? Or
that is correct.
Okay,
that is what I proposed anyway.
Is there any?
Agreed to.
Okay, all right. So no one's finding that. So as you're kind of now approaching. You've kind of left the mountains behind you. They curve up to the north, and you guys know from when you fell in that there is a bit of a gap to the northern of the mountain, or to the north of the mountain range, but it does curve away from you for several days of travel. You are now only a day outside of the outskirts of Industrial Town, which has kind of its own concerns, but it's a little bit safer than just traveling through the dome. Dren, you regale as you guys are walking the different things that have maybe happened while you were in the dome, such as, to keep the show interesting, Saltazar likes to introduce foreign entities into this area, and that includes malign creatures.
Shirket.
Shirkets, robots, hazards of variety of types, anything that keeps the show interesting. So while you might think like there's a little, microcosm of society in here, it is really a breaking point away from Saltazar doing something truly unruly and ruining everything.
And you said this is specifically around Industrial Dome? Or?
No, this is throughout the dome itself. However, most of Dren's knowledge comes from the Industrial Town, because that was the only real standing structure, that in the arena when Dren was here last, which was, again, almost a full year ago, a little less than a year ago. Throughout this dome, though, that's where these hazards come from. And so the traveling thing is not necessarily safe. But you got to do what you got to do. So, Nick, I need that roll for that roll table, please, because you did trigger another one as you left the mountains and are heading to Industrial Town. As you are a day away. Don't roll another 4 though, because that would be a real bummer.
That's kind of far away. 15.
Hey, that is something. That's literally the last one I have filled in on this slot. You know what? Roll me one more time. That one is literally not useful to you because you haven't expended any battery charges. It's the only helpful one on there. Thanks to Black Rabbit, which we'll maybe come back to. But
how about a 3?
Okay. All right. No, we'll go with 3. Thank you. As you guys are traveling, this will be in broad daylight. You are walking through. I need everyone to give me a quick reflex save. You've been walking through these rolling hills with small, dense grass. There's been some trees and shrubs on the sides. And as you take one step too firm, a sinkhole appears beneath your feet. And you begin to tumble in. Whoever rolls worst is the one who tumbles in.
Oh, I'm safe. I have a 25.
I got a 9.
In response, can I cast flight?
Oh wait, what about?
I strongly recommend that you don't, but you can.
Wait, are we missing one? Oh, Nick, you don't roll.
I roll physically because I'm supposed to roll better.
Yeah, we can't. So for anyone who hasn't figured out Nick's issue, whenever Nick rolls in Roll20, it is invariably a 2. There are many Twitch clips documenting this phenomenon. So he's not allowed to roll anymore because he really slows stuff down when he rolls in Roll20.
Even for these RNG scenarios or these randomly generated events, I rolled a 4. I rolled 15, which we're not going to use, and then I rolled a 3. So
yeah, that's not
moving on up.
Yeah, in this time it doesn't matter.
Dren's the one going into the sinkhole.
Yep.
So Zero just puts his hand together. May he rest in peace.
So Dren's 9 was the lowest?
Yep.
Oh wow! So it's not me. So I'm not gonna. I wouldn't.
Secret beat me by 1.
Huh?
You beat me by 1.
Well, I
you
mean,
got a 10,
I'd have
right?
to. I think it's touch range, so I can't get to you. So
As you fall into this sinkhole, cursing your clearly rotten luck, you tumble.
I didn't have the boot. That's
Yeah.
oh no,
my,
close range. I could give him flight. Do you want it? I mean,
He doesn't want it, and he's falling, so he can't.
I'd
ask
take
for
it.
Stop metagaming before I drop Sprox on you and you all die.
I mean, Rye, who falls in a hole, right?
right? Yeah.
You didn't hear that conversation.
I should have given Rye disadvantage.
Well, at least you're not going to lose another foot from falling.
Yeah,
Well, that's the joke because Rye's not falling in the hole. It's the person who said the joke.
Yeah.
it's
I
fine.
know.
Dren falls into.
Well, no, because Pat looks like he was getting angry.
Well, Pat's always angry. That's just.
Patrick's not angry.
As you fall into this hole, you don't fall very
Tired.
far. It is maybe 10 feet, and you are probably spry enough. What's your reflex? What is your reflex save? I don't want you to roll it, but what is it?
Probably a 2. Yeah.
Oh.
Mine too.
All right. You don't land super gracefully, but it's not far enough that you've actually hurt anything. Maybe just your pride. But the hole is very dark to the point of when you flicker on your Solarian weapon from your tail, you don't actually get the same cast of light that you normally do. Holding it around, you can see that there are close, tight walls of, it's earth, and then as you get down a little bit, it comes metal and wires and grating because underneath this is a created space construction. So you seem to have fallen into like a small little recess or like engineering area in terms of fixing the dome. Like maybe this is where like an engineers would go. So probably about, maybe 10 feet or more down. And as you kind of bring your tail around, there's, tight walls on 3 sides, but, directly forward, there is a hallway that, again, the light from your tail doesn't seem to be cutting through this darkness as it normally does, but you can either climb back up or you can see what's down the creepy hallway.
So It's clearly magical darkness, so like dark vision isn't going to apply here, right?
Correct.
Yep.
If you have dark vision, you are seeing much less than you should be.
I do have blind sense sound.
It's silent.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't know if there was like any vibrations.
Well,
No.
no, because there's blind sense vibration. Hello.
You can maybe hear a bit of whistling wind that has shot down the tunnel with you as you fell. And the echoes go out for, I'd say probably, we'll say 30 feet. That's my measurement of choice today. About 30 feet. And the path, as you kind of tentatively take a step down there, does seem to slope down for the entire time.
Are you all right down there?
Zero doesn't say that loudly. He says it as quietly as he can, hoping for a null response.
Do I not hear that?
I assume you hear it.
Okay.
Get him?
Yeah, I didn't fall far. Seems like there's a hallway, though. I'm tempted to go down it. Any response?
As he yells up from
down the hall. I guess we have to sell him into slavery now.
So what about the hallway? You just said it was dark. Is that all you said to us?
I said there wasn't that far of a fall, and there's a hallway. It's kind of dark. Thinking about checking it out.
Good luck.
I mean, can you see down there?
I could see a little bit.
I mean,
I can't see out of the hole.
I just want to go down
Get
there.
a token.
You can go down there. When you tunnel down and you hit the metal grating, you kind of run into some issues, but you would be able to get to the hole. I will say that it is crowded. It's less than 5 feet across in this space.
Oh.
So you would be going single file. You can go in there. There's, again, a hallway, but you would be going single file. This is like an engineering crawl space.
There's not really a lot of room down here, I guess. Couldn't see that far.
Do you want me to lead way?
You're probably better at getting through. No, you're huge, aren't you?
No, he's not the big bug.
I imagine
Oh.
we're all going down there.
It's up to you guys.
Why don't you go on ahead then? Lead the way.
I would hop down, yeah. Sure, Cat's my bodyguard. I need to make sure that it's alive.
Such
Ooh,
faith in the rest of us, huh?
All right. So, as you guys, this is the one I want.
Zero, are we going down there too? Are we gonna keep watch out here?
Underground? I don't need these.
Yeah, you can slide off your goggles, and it's
Move in a little
bright in
bit.
here.
Follow.
it's actually pitch black.
Yeah, no, it's very bright in my attic.
Oh, because you've been wearing the ski
These
goggles.
things work really well. I mean, they're legit ski goggles.
You're gonna damage your eyes because
Probably.
of Starfinder. Yeah, great.
Probably.
Just increase the monitor brightness. You're good.
No,
all
it's
right.
these lights here.
See, I don't have the Starfinder version of this that I want, but that's okay. I'll just use Pathfinder if I have to. As you guys are going down the hallway, who's going first? That's really all I care about. Who's taking the lead?
Sure,
Is it
Cat.
Cat? So as you guys go down this hallway, it doesn't last very long, but it does go down. It slopes down at kind of a steep angle, and there's still this shrouding of magical darkness. As you are holding up your different Solarian weapons to kind of cast any light at all, you begin to notice some peculiarities. The left side of the hallway seems to have been painted like a monochrome black, and then the right side split evenly down the middle, a white, sort of like a enamel color, where it's a very split hallway. And as you are going down, you hit the end of a short hallway that, as you guys are kind of going through, who's the most engineering among you now that we don't have Miller?
Probably me or Zero.
Yeah, or me.
Did our androids go down the hole?
We
yeah,
did.
I think so.
Okay. You
Probably
guys see that
last at that point.
this
Yeah.
does seem like it's been cut into another engineering crawl space, where the color changes, and you start seeing sporadic symbols drawn in that, as you guys are slowly getting there, Seeker recognizes them as magical. And Shirket, you approach, and again, you're the only one who is able to approach because you are first down this hallway. There is an ending, a nook. And in this nook where it kind of gets tighter and the white and the black walls come and merge, there is a pedestal. It has the same color scheme where half of it's painted white and half is painted black. There is a book, an archaic paper, bound book resting upon this pedestal. On the cover of the book, as you kind of look at it, there is a mask inscribed on it. There's no text or anything on the cover, but there is a mask. It is an ornate mask, and half of the face is black and half of the face is white.
Pick it up to read it.
You become a member of the Phantom Thieves.
I'm trying to see the list of Starfinder gods and see if this is one you guys would know because the gods shifted in Starfinder. Major gods, let's see.
Can I do a mysticism check if I can see
it? You know what? You can't see it right now.
That's why I hadn't
yet. Mysticism. But... Can I do a mysticism check?
Yes, you can. Yes, you may. It looks like this is not a
19.
Particularly popular god in common times. It's not a part of the minor gods, and it's not a part of the other world.
So just to kind of explain my actions here, the duality of the mask kind of reminds me of theater, in which Shirket very much a fan of.
Okay.
So you say mask, and your immediate thought is, "Ooh, this is a great present for Ross."
Well, that's exactly right. I was gonna say it was either has something to do with theater, or hey, Ryan might like it.
Can I do a mysticism check on the symbols that we walked by at all?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Give it to me.
Give it to me, baby.
What do I got? I got a plus 12. Okay, so 12, 14.
Ooh. Yeah, no, you guys don't recognize it enough. It's obscure enough.
I have a thing that lets me recall knowledge, reroll a knowledge check once per day.
Do it.
Tip of the tongue. So I'm going to do that. 15.
Wow.
Oops. No, that was the same roll because I accidentally did a 13 instead of 12.
If you are a subscriber, you could force a reroll.
So
you got the same.
Yeah, I got
roll.
the same exact roll.
Two times in a row.
Yep.
Nice.
Brawl, come back.
Yeah, you guys are not able to determine immediately what this is. As you flip through the book, Shirket, nothing untoward happens to you. It does look like it was a hideaway space that was well cared for. The book itself is in pristine condition as much as it can be. There's some torn edges, but some sort of preservation technique has been used where it's been under here in kind of a dank underground tunnel, and it's not any more damage than it should or could be. All of the text is in, as far as you're concerned. Oh, is there a language on here? Yeah, it's in like just different magical runes that you don't immediately recognize. They look archaic. I don't know how much your Bolita would recognize magic to begin with, not being...
only 3 languages, Common, Shirin, and Castrovellian.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything familiar. It's just the runes match some of the symbols you maybe seen in the walls coming up here, but for the most part, you're not getting much from this book. It does seem to be outside of your wheelhouse.
If it helps, I have comprehend languages.
Does that work on runes?
It says...
Runes are a language.
That's a good point. It says, I think, if I remember correctly, it said I can actually read magical stuff, but let me look it up really quick, because I remember seeing something about that.
The better question is
344. Page 344. You can understand the spoken or signed words of creatures or read otherwise incomprehensible written or tactile messages. The ability to read does not necessarily impart insight into the material, merely its literal meaning. The spell enables you to understand or read an unknown language, not speak or write it. You can't use this spell to read magic writing or encoded messages.
Cannot. Okay.
Reveal if the message is magic or encoded. It does reveal if it's magic or encoded. But you can use it to read raw computer code or foreign programming languages, allowing you to understand enough to attempt computer. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I knew
What
it
role
said
did you
something
say?
about magic languages in there. I didn't know if it was a yes or no to those.
It was
What
a
role
no.
did you say we needed, Dustin, in order to read it?
It was a mysticism check, is what I was given.
And what was the DC?
I don't tell you DCs, but so far
I
a
know.
19 didn't do it.
Okay, so I probably can't do it, but I'll try it anyway.
Let's get out of this hole.
Nope. Continue.
Okay.
Well, is it something that comprehend languages could work on? Would I know? Or
Is that a spell slot for you to use?
yes.
I ain't telling you, spoop.
Well, I'm saying if I figured that it was magical, then I wouldn't. If it was just magic words.
They're runes. They're not any known text, but they
Yeah.
don't look to be common script.
Man, if only Miller were here.
Well, it's magic writing, so if the writing is not magical, then yes, I would.
And you detect magic from the book.
Good point.
Is that a first level spell, or is that at will?
Detect magic is
At will.
At will.
It's magical.
Magical writing. I can tell that it is magical writing.
Yep.
So you could tell the
Okay,
book's
then
magic.
I know that I will not be able to use comprehend languages to figure it out, because you can't have anything fun in Starfinder anymore. Nothing does anything.
I don't think detect magic even tells you the schools anymore, does
No,
it?
it
The
doesn't.
No,
domains?
it doesn't. I mean,
Yeah, all right.
schools aren't.
I finally
really
know the
that-
domains for something you're checking, and I can't give it to you. Curses. That's right. All right. So you guys have a book you've acquired. Sheerkat, you keep it.
Puts it in its little fanny pack.
Okay.
Oh, I need to make a new equipment sheet. This is still Miller's.
Oh no.
Oh,
Where are you going to find all the trees to cut down and make your paper with?
What? I don't know
Office
what's going
snacks?
on.
We're getting sponsored, right? All right. Yeah. Okay. So you guys have acquired a book. You guys don't know the full impact of what you got there, but that was another submission from the Masked Ferret. So when you guys finally crack that code, you'll either be really happy or really mad at the Masked Ferret. All right. And as you guys climb out of the hole, who complains the loudest about how much of a waste of time that was?
Not
Right.
me. I had fun.
No, as far as Sheerkat knows, she has a piece of theater memorabilia.
You see exactly where you're going with that. The mask that I'm describing does actually look very theater-esque. It is.
Do you have a picture
I mean,
of
you
it?
could even.
I know the god that you're talking about too. So
I bet you do.
I've seen plenty of all the pictures. So
Yeah, in Pathfinder it was a bigger deal, but in Starfinder it is not anywhere
so
under the major or minor gods.
Wow.
All right. Many of the gods of Golarion kind of got shifted in terms of import, and also partially because Golarion ain't hanging around anymore. So
Sure.
there's that. All right. You
Excellent.
guys are approaching Industrial Town. You are a day away as you get kind of closer and you go through. The outskirts of town have been made into shoddy, temporary housing in some cases, like shacks, ramshackle things, and also attempts at farming. The farms are not within the city walls. Specifically, there are some walls built up, and as you guys are approaching on the horizon, you see that these walls are made up of irregular metal. Think Megaton from Fallout 3. Bigger, but it's a city that is made out of basically scrap metal, or the wall is made out of scrap metal. Some of the buildings inside of it you can see do rise above these walls, and they seem to be the standard, modern, high-tech buildings you guys found in Pistol. A little slovenly because it was one of the lower tier domes, but that means they're grimy. They're still modern buildings, which is nice because Water's Edge and everything else has been so much either run down, archaic, or you've been traveling for days now and just kind of open wasteland basically, or a flatland and rolling hills. In terms of approach from the town, what's the party's plan? This might be something you guys want to do in character because you guys are starting to get into Industrial Town. You will start to be seeing people. In ones and twos, they don't acknowledge you too much. Groups traveling throughout the dome aren't that uncommon. It's not safe anywhere, so traveling is sometimes what some people do. In terms of, as you start to approach the walls, though, there is only 2 gates. And Dren, you can elaborate, but there is a northern gate and then the more utilized southern gate. The northern gate is much more heavily fortified, mostly because things from the north that have permanent establishments, the ruins and the fort, tend to be problematic. The southern gate is the more used for travel, but either is fine. But you guys don't have immediate access to the town itself. You have access to the outskirts. What is kind of your approach for this?
We split the party in two, and then we split those groups up even more so that they're staggered, and then we go in from both corners and
Well,
then meet in
right.
the middle like this.
As much as I like your idea,
That was out of character.
as much as I like your idea, I actually propose a different idea. So,
I look over at Sheerkat. I didn't propose any ideas.
Anyway, of all of us, both these androids, the monkey pirate, and of course you, Mr. Reich Oren, stand out very much among everybody here in this dome. However, there is one person here who does not. That's me. And I know you're really, really good at disguising people. You can just disguise each other up, and we can walk in.
Did you just say you don't stand out?
Oh, well, I stand out, but not as much as you, folks.
You were on the TV with us, though.
Was I?
Yeah.
Yes.
You were televised as entering the Church of Reality. That being said, you're not a member of the Pact Breakers.
That's true.
And there are other people at the Church of Reality. Again, you were the only group there with Brother Gavin, but again, there's no necessary correlation. In terms of what was shown on TV, it was you and Dren together, which is even less of a separation, even more of a separation from the Pact Breakers. Also, you are probably less of a standout because there are plenty of bug people throughout this dome.
Hello.
There are probably other Bolita as well as Shirin, as well as...
What about the slug people?
No, those are extinct.
So, as Mr. Voice in the Sky has said, in the Church of Reality, many people in this dome have gone through all of that. I was just another contestant.
They don't usually go through it because most people die. But
Most people.
Or they avoid it.
yeah, it's just that it's not uncommon. You're fine.
You're also not the one that sold them all to be here.
So, that being said, Reich, would you care to dress up our group?
I'm going to sneeze. Hold on.
That's weird.
Mute yourself, you better.
Ryan,
The one
if
time he
you need
doesn't
any
mute
help.
himself.
Strange way.
I can hear you. You're not.
My proposition.
No, I just unmuted myself. I didn't sneeze. I thought I was going to. Sorry, I don't know if you can tell.
Reich is crying from the brilliant idea that Sheerkat had.
I've been
very
sick
moved.
the past week. It
And
sucks.
he gets to use all of his theater.
So I take a look around, having done this before, for anything I can use to come up with some sort of disguise. But I imagine that would be a little bit difficult, given that we don't really have any supplies outside of what I have on me. Wait, do I have anything useful? Hold on.
You guys can see if you have anything useful for making disguises. In terms of natural stuff, you could make mud, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could probably
I
make
found this
some.
book. You could tear out these pages.
I can make some makeshift like paints and stuff. I'm sure. Like grab.
Oh,
a
but I
bunch
need to
of-
track your materials. So whatever you're using to make paints potentially is going to cost you.
Well, I mean, I'd go out and find like certain like berries
I
and
remember we
bugs and
had-
I have a
stuff.
spell. I have one spell gem, disguise self,
Ooh,
that I
also.
completely forgot about
Because Pat never uses his sheet.
because I never need it.
Yeah.
No, I never need this disguise self.
He has one small section he sets aside for grenades, and that's all he looks at.
It's not a
Well-
small section. It's what do I do in combat?
Yeah, pretty much. Am I standing in cat piss again?
Probably.
No.
If absolutely needed, I can actually cast invisibility on.
Can you
one of
cast
us.
invisible? I can talk. Yep. Can you cast invisibility on multiple people?
I can do 4 of us. But
do 4 of
that would
us?
be all. I would not be able to use any
And I
more
can walk in.
second level spells.
So while they sit there and talk about this, I activate my camouflage. Be like,
Yeah, so Zero can activate his camouflage. He can go in. Sheercat can go underground.
Cat.
I can disguise myself. If you can get Monkey Boy in, we're good.
I mean, I have no problems just walking in.
Okay. Then
Maybe you should disguise me too, then.
no, you can go invisible.
Well, fine. All
Okay,
right.
I go up to Seeker and I pinch his cheeks ever so gently to make them
Seeker
red.
is legitimately insulted that he's not getting dressed up.
Yeah, a little bit.
I just pinch his cheeks
wait,
and
wait.
go, there. You
I mean,
now
the-
have a rosy complexion.
You can just
Let's
hear.
go. And I start walking towards the thing.
Gate?
Yeah, you just hear under his breath, like, this bug person shows up, and then all of a sudden, me and Rye aren't friends anymore. I just see how it is. I see how it is. We used to do everything together.
So as we get
Premiere.
close to the whenever we get close enough to the gate for it to matter, I'll utilize my gem. It basically gives me a +10 circumstance bonus to disguise. It makes myself, any clothing, armor, weapons, equipment on me look different. I can seem up to 1 foot shorter or taller, thin or fat, or in between.
Describe your new self.
Huh?
Describe new Rye.
Well, Reich is relatively normal sized as is, so I'm just gonna round him out a little bit, make him look a little bit portly, just a little bit of a gut, but not like from beer gut, more like that weird gut you get when you
Dad
don't
bod.
eat.
Are you talking about me, Patrick? Are you trying to describe me? Are you bald now too?
Well, Rye always has been very short haired, but yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be Dustin, except I'm not gonna be as angry because I can change how I look now.
All right.
No, shouldn't you be a Dustin with hair?
I don't like it. All of the time.
I look down at my body and I go, huh.
You have man boobs.
Does something feel like it was cut?
I can guarantee this. No one's gonna look at me.
I still,
Oh,
I still will. I still will.
they might look at you, but I'm not for the reasons you think.
Well, they won't keep looking at me.
I
And
assume
just
you can
start
also
walking.
hide your antennae, right? Like they go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't look like Rye.
Nope, not even close.
You've slummed it up a bit.
For the next until I can't talk. Until told otherwise, my name is Rustin.
Oh,
Rustin.
You mean Rustinian, right?
Nope, I said Rustin.
May I call you Rusty?
Actually, yeah, Rustinian works.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Rustinian, Dren, who's going to swagger on in, Zero, who has activated active camouflage.
Well, I'm waiting till we're close because it only lasts about, at this point, I think like 30 seconds.
It's fine. I don't think you'll have that much of an issue.
Yeah, same.
I think my gem it says it lasts for 10 minutes per level. I don't have the level written down.
I'll just
You're level 6, so it's an
It's fine. And Sheerkat can just walk in, no problems. Seeker, what exactly are you doing?
I was gonna go invisible along with Zero.
Okay, and in terms of that,
By the way, only spellcasters are capable of using spell gems.
Really?
Yeah, but
Why do I have it?
You don't.
you got it from random loot.
Yep.
Oh,
I just want to make sure on that.
okay.
But you use the spell gem on him and
Wait,
get him
wait,
all
wait,
sorted
wait,
out.
wait.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could just use it on you.
Can't
so
I
it's not a
use
big deal, But
I can't use yeah, you're right.
It's
Okay.
fine. Seeker does the thing
Yep.
for you. You are
Yeah.
all set.
Cool.
All right.
you're welcome, Rye.
He says as he
Excuse me,
snaps and disappears.
Rustinian.
Seeker, why did you make him fat?
Yes, yeah, okay, I did that. I did exactly what he did.
There you go.
Now Surecat really hates Seeker.
Cat disliked this.
All right.
Actually, if it was up to me, I'd probably make him look like Patrick.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's
Fabulously
even
handsome,
worse.
but
That's worse.
unable to grow a real beard. Sad.
All right. You guys approach the front gate. Going through again, the farms and things you pass through, people, they kind of scurry away from you. Anyone who is not known is going to be somewhat of a threat in this dome, so people tend to shy away. And as you get to the heavier gates, Zero kind of keeping towards the back out of sight as much as he can. You are eventually approaching an area that has a large metal door, a guard post, one stationed on top with a lookout, and then a one onto the side, which is more of a traditional guard post that you can kind of interact with. They are heavily armed. They are wearing, probably both of them are wearing smaller versions of power armor. I don't have all the list of power armors on me, but they look pretty close to like what Brawl would be seen wearing, and they don't really seem like they should be really trucked with. They're carrying larger weapons. These are modern weapons, so probably energy weapons or just bigger. And they seem to be specifically there as deterrents. And as you guys approach, the guard at the side booth, the one that kind of is like a more standard setup, raises a hand and says, let's see, this one, we'll say just a human, says, "Oi, strangers, gonna need you to stop for an inspection real quick. We don't let anyone new in Industrial Town without searching you first. We don't want any unapproved contraband coming through, or, you to be them undead fellas disguised again. If you have an issue with that, keep on moving."
I'm not really new. I've been here before.
Oh, son of a... All right, Dren, come on. Let's make sure you're not smuggling stuff in again. That's fine.
Yeah, go on without me. I try to think of something clever to do.
As they let him walk through, Zero will, hop into his and go through.
Okay, and I assuming Seeker will do the same.
Yep.
Wait, so there's no you guys don't have to sneak for that?
I imagine he's going to have us roll, or maybe
I'm gonna have I roll perception, and then whatever you guys have to roll is for that.
Not that you'll get caught anyway.
I also feel like don't rolling because it's gonna be same difference, but that's fine. So Dren kind of walks up, opens up his coat, and done this before, showcases it around, probably still hiding things. They look through, basically they find your weapons, they find your guns. Do you carry drugs?
Nope. Not that I have noted on my person right now, anyway.
Anything weird you're carrying?
You know who does?
I don't think. No. Most of my money for character introduction was all spent on necessities.
Okay, we'll say the rest of the stuff was on your ship, which isn't your ship anymore. That's fine.
No, it's still my ship. It's fine.
And as you kind of go through, they like say, "Yeah, all right, you're fine. Welcome back, buddy." They say very sarcastically, and they let you into the town. And they roll perception as they kind of cursory glance over. They roll miserably, so you guys both skate through, being Seeker invisible and active camouflage 0. And next up, they kind of motion Shirket through. The guard is immediately kind of put off by having to search the bug person and says, kind of absentmindedly, "Hey, didn't they have one of yous over at the Church of Reality?" And he's kind of looking under your arms, which are waving and gross, and he's like,
Probably. I just try to focus on surviving.
"All right, well, if you're new here, you might find a bit of a better rub down in south part of town. That's where some of the Sharon have set up some hostels, specifically for..."
Do I look like a Sharon? Are you calling me Sharon?
No, I'm not trying to call you Sharon. I'm just saying they're for the folks with, the exoskeleton on the outside, if you hear them saying. They want to make sure you guys had a bit of spot. So they got some hostels in the south part of town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you wouldn't tell from the eyes, but it's eyeing him very menacingly.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he vaguely remembers that the Bolita on television had talked about disemboweling things. He kind of gulps a little bit and takes a step back in power armor, which is like.
I mean, I can roll intimidate if you want. But.
No, it's intimidated. It's fine. He's intimidated. It's fine. He waves you in. And then we are left with Rustinian. Has not asked any of your names. It's not particularly important. Well, I guess it's only you, Shirkat, right? That's it. Yeah, didn't even ask your name. Just waves you in. Basically, he's looking for stuff that they find inappropriate. Rustinian, as you approach, what do you say?
I grumble something about being inconvenienced.
Tempted to have a full body search, random TSA style, but instead he waves a literal magic wand kind of over you, looking for any odd substances. Gets a couple of pings for magical items, but like it doesn't give any sort of alarms that upsets them. You're under the impression that they'd let a lot of things through. The really things that they're trying to stop are active dangers, such as the Eoxians or any of their kind of agents they've been releasing into the dome. Honestly, had you had drugs on you, Dren, it would have been fine. They might have asked to partake. Exactly. And I guess a small reminder, half of the residents of this dome right now, or this game show, are survivors from Pistol, so your average citizenry. The other half are active criminals that have been exported or imprisoned here as part of their sentence. Well, all of their sentence. So you're not going to find too many upstanding citizens to the point where you need to really worry about you needing to hit that level. As you guys all enter through the town, Zero deactivating camouflage. Seeker, I don't know how long invisibility lasts, but I assume you pop into view pretty quickly.
A minute per level.
Oh, you have some time to kind of walk with the group.
6 minutes.
As you enter the town itself, it is, again, it's laid out how you guys have seen before. Relatively decently open streets with buildings on any side. These buildings vary in height. Most of them are of the same construction type, which is squarish with rounded off corners. Originally some sort of white, now a dingy, gray with, the gross black discoloration throughout just from age and general maluse. And the people there are easily it was a melting pot before because this is one of the spaceports in Pyramid Station Alpha. This is now even more so. You have a lot more Eoxians, which are one of the races that weren't too present on Pistol. There are a lot of Eoxians. There are a lot of out and out criminal looking types walking the street. There are a lot of exposed weaponry, whether that's improvised, really gross looking serrated pitchforks, or your standard laser pistol, or people walking around in power armor. I will say it's probably almost none, because most power armor utilizes batteries. You see that there are market stalls set up in some of the streets, a bartering style. And as you guys are kind of going through, you do not hear anyone talking about credits. Everyone is bartering with different materials. I'll let you guys go with that for now. In terms of paying attention to you, most people do not. Now, as a group traveling together, you shy away any stragglers. If there's a solo person looking to pickpocket or steal from you guys, and you see these types out on the street in broad daylight, looking you up and down, but seeing so many of you, they tend to back off. A couple people see Dren, nod respectfully, and also fade into the shadows. A couple of people look at Seeker side-eye when he eventually appears, or look at Zero with a questioning. Actually, Zero, you don't get much.
You got to remember, actually, to set the scene a bit more, do anybody look at our group's feet?
Yeah, so the first thing I'm doing is finding somewhere I can find shoes.
Actually, as you guys look around, there are plenty of people missing all sorts of clothing items.
Okay.
There's no clothing stores. So if something gets broken, you can't really manufacture it inside of this dome. Most people are wearing homespun tunics. Many people don't have shoes to speak of, much less just one, right boot. So no, actually, the fact that you guys are some of you uniform missing left shoes is not a problem.
If anything, it makes us fit in.
I would say, yeah, actually, it makes you guys look like you've been here for a little bit longer. All the other stuff looking new and shiny is probably not so great. But I mean, new arrivals are not uncommon. And again, new arrivals, as you guys were, are usually dropped in with full equipment because that's more fun for viewership. If one of you pops off in the middle of town, Saltazar's pumped. So, yeah, well, how do you guys want to go through this town? Again, you guys aren't drawing too much attention. I will say, Rustinian, you probably need to figure out a more permanent setup because Raish Orin appearing in town will trigger things. Doesn't mean it's all bad, but it will trigger things.
And disguise self only lasts 10 minutes.
10 minutes per level of the spell.
Per level, which we don't know what level it was. Which, if it was higher level than what I am or what I can cast,
what's the level of the spell itself? What's the?
It's only a level 1 spell.
And then you probably have about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Again, that's however you guys want to handle it.
What is the time of day of our approach on the city?
Technically, it would be like night is coming.
Okay.
So you guys are kind of entering evening dusk as the stars start coming out into the dome sky above you.
Am I aware of any nearby inns that would be as reputable as you'd expect it for the area?
Inns less so, but maybe a bar or two. Well, I guess they'd have inns. Inns feels like an archaic term to use, but sure, yeah, you could find
a hostel
of sorts. Well, Sheerkat knows of hostels to the south, although it's mostly for insectoid races. Not saying they wouldn't let fleshy people in there, but you'd be kind of stepping in it. In terms of like a seedy, inn with like a bar maybe you've attended. Yeah, you can give me the name of one that you've been to in the past.
I've been to Industrial.
Oh God, I hate you. Space.
I half expected it to be like a Dren Tavern.
Industrial. I would have allowed it actually. Industrial.
It went under. That's why.
A ramshackle inn made out of a slightly hollowed out building.
They named it Industrial. So I'll say this as we start walking upon and we gaze. They called this Industrial because they repurposed the sign. It was already there. They just added in another N.
They actually broke like the Industrial Dome welcome sign. They broke Industrial, spaced it, added an N in spray paint, and just kind of nailed it up across this little entry hole.
Was this the dome? Was this the rice oven one?
No, rice oven was Central Dome.
Okay. Sorry.
Does this dome actually look like do the buildings look somewhat familiar outside of their current status?
So, would you recognize any of the structures?
Yeah, as buildings that existed prior.
Yeah. Most of these buildings existed when Pistol was together. Again, a lot of the dome has been magically renovated, which is why it's much bigger than it was before and why it has terrain features that didn't exist prior. It got the TARDIS effect. But this particular section is basically copy pasta straight from old Industrial Dome. Specifically, I think we said it was Industrial 1, but I no longer remember, nor do I care.
I can tell you, but I don't feel like looking it up.
Yeah, that's right. You have that whole list. I have it somewhere too, but I couldn't find it. I looked for my notes the other day and I can't find it at all. So I need it. It's not important right now, and we only have 12 minutes for tonight's episode.
It's true.
So as you guys enter Industrial, letting Dren lead the way again, you enter in. Hey, Dren, who was the barkeep when you left?
Oh, that was Jimothy.
Jesus Christ. What was Jimothy?
Jimothy was hold on. Jimothy was actually a Vesk. I'm not entirely sure Jimothy was his name. That's just what I called him.
Okay. All right. That's funny. I like that. All right. Let's do. Okay. All right, so as you kind of enter in, they're behind of the makeshift bar, which is dead end center as you walk in. There are some tables set up. There are some patrons in the bar perusing, looking dejected. There is apparently alcohol, although like even just walking by and you smell it, it smells like solvent more than it does alcohol, and it is very pungent. Off like to bar right, there is stairs going up into ostensibly some rooms that Dren has mentioned. The types in this bar are seedy. There's not an upstanding citizen among them. They very much give off the Dren feel, with a little bit less pizzazz because they're downtrodden, have been in here for some of them up to a year. And again, this is not a safe place to live, even when you're an industrial town. As you approach the Vesk barkeep, this Vesk has one eye that is pearly white and you assume blind, with a gash running down it. The other eye has a similar gash and is when it like moves, it whirs and shifts a little bit. It is clearly mechanical and a little bit older. This Vesk has seen a number of battles. It is wearing like a tank top meant for a smaller species, just stretched across its lizard hide. It has a makeshift apron covering some archaic leather pants. It doesn't necessarily look comfortable in the clothing it's wearing, or it certainly looks out of place, and it attempts to clean like a old cracked mug or glass receptacle for liquid. One of you guys can fill in the appropriate term. No, Chris, I need you on that one.
Cup.
I mean, glass works.
Oh, glass, fine. Okay.
Glass works.
I wasn't sure. Like, I don't know different types of pint glass.
Why, that's the drinking
Did you want
bowl.
a pint glass? Did you want a Willy glass? Did you want a Pilsner glass? Did you want I mean, we could go on a wheat glass.
It was a cup. I misspoke.
Tulips myself.
Tulips, yeah.
I hate all of you.
Goblets.
Wipes down this thing. Standard barkeep. The rag is as filthy, if not more so, than the glass itself. And as the robotic eye focuses on Dren, it says, it kind of lifts up its snout and says, "Heard you were back. Nice to, okay to see you, Dren. Can I get you something to drink?"
Jimothy, it has been a while. Yes, I'll take one of your finest, and I throw up a little bit of an air quotes, drinks. Something for my companions as well.
It's still not Jimothy. It's Vuna. And as last time, only got the one drink. We call it drink. Enjoy. What do you have to pay for the drink?
Oh, I've got a few credits for you. No worries. I'm sure that'll be enough.
Remember, they don't use credits.
I'm sure that will be enough.
Vuna kind of looks at you with the eye and says, "I'll give you this one for a couple of credits. But you come wielding that shit in here again."
Boop.
Spoop, sorry. I'm gonna borrow one of your eyes because this one's getting real itchy. You understand?
How?
Also,
I've got the weird kind of insect eyes, and they're ginormous. How would he make it work? I'm actually curious.
Don't worry about it. Also, I'm reinstating your tab now that you're back. All that stuff you owed me from that time you split without paying.
Right.
You owe me one. Happy to have you.
You'll get your due eventually. Right. Yeah.
One of us will. Yeah. Vuna gives you the, small glasses of industrial smelling fluid that is presumably alcohol. You may imbibe or not. And then Vuna says, crossing arms, putting the glass down, "Do you need rooms?"
Would I remember how much one room held?
There isn't like how much one room held?
Like capacity.
comfortably, probably 3 max. Again, you could fit 5 people in there uncomfortably. It wouldn't be much worse than what you've been doing at night, kind of sleeping throughout the room. But like, there's 2 beds, 2 twin beds in there.
We'll be taking 2 rooms.
I just not interrupting him, but standing next to. Are we? Is he at a bar?
Yeah. You guys are at the bar, along the
So
bar.
I'm sitting down at the bar, and knowing that they don't use credits but rather barter, I pull out these 5 trinkets that were given to me a very long time ago, that I have on my list as 5 seeker trinkets, which he gave me in lieu of compensation when we did something and I got hosed.
I don't remember what a seeker trinket is.
Are you
I
going to
remember.
place this on the bar?
I'm placing these trinkets on the bar.
So as he does that, I go, no, that's no good here. I've paid for it.
And well, I wasn't. So this may have you rescind that, but I wasn't talking to the bartender. What I was going to do was put down the trinkets and then try to see if he showed any interest in the trinkets.
I'll still say the same, but if that's not what you were going to do, then you just continue doing what you're doing.
That's exactly what I was going to do. So I withhold. I keep my anger at being interrupted before talking. Internally,
Shukat looks at Dren very angrily.
Is there any reaction from the bartender, from the
The
intern?
eye visibly moves to the trinket, stays on it, and says out loud, I'm going to need you to prepay for the rooms there, boys, and thing to Shirkat. We're not accepting credits for stay. And it kind of leans its head in a little bit closer to eyeball the seeker trinket. Hey, Seeker, what the heck is a seeker trinket?
I don't entirely remember when this happened, but I'm pretty sure it was just some random junk that I had lying around or whatever. Or like,
the way I interpreted it was they were little artistic works that he had made out of whatever scrap was available. I don't remember the exact situation. I just remember I was upset because I did not get compensated, or we found loot that had nothing I could possibly use. And he was like, here, you can have these things. And he gave me what was valuable to him as trinkets, or he thought had value in them. So in my head canon, they're little artsy things that he made, like sculptures out of things.
Could even be stuff that like hung on my coat or whatever, just as
Seeker, could you give me a
Profession?
And well, I don't think any of his professions would cover it.
Art.
Well, art.
Oh,
maybe?
art is right. Yeah, give me a profession check.
All right. 18.
But I can spin this because I have the ability to build bullshit.
No. It looks down. It's like
Full spoop.
Tell you what. I haven't seen anything pretty in a while. How many of these things you got?
I was gonna say no. I'm not for sale.
I say, well, I mean, these are very, very valuable to me. These are priceless, one of a kinds.
5 of a kind.
I didn't say 5.
Didn't you pull out a bunch?
Yeah, I totally did.
No.
They might all be different.
Yeah, they're all different. And I say, I don't know if I can part with all of them. They're very, very sentimental and valuable.
Seeker's looking like,
You lads are obviously a little bit new here. Let me fill you in. What you have value before the Most Dangerous Game show, yes, the ticket, has no value here. Your art value is even more subjective than it ever was.
I
I will tell you that is worth 2 rooms for one night. If I have a handful of them, you have a handful of nights with the 2 rooms. And when you run out of nights, we'll figure out what comes next.
So what are the chances, out of character, of these people ever getting out of this place?
None, 0, impossible.
Impossible. Okay. So he wouldn't be interested in stuff. Okay. Let me just see if I have anything else that I don't give a crap about beyond the personalized gifts that Seeker gave me.
You also can just give 1 for 2 night, or sorry, for 1 night and not do all of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you had to do them all up front.
So I say, okay, I can give you 1 for the rooms for the night. And then I think, and I look over at the monkey man and I look back at the bar. How much damage did this cause last time he was here? What's the damage?
Again, money's not so good, but a straight week of being blackout drunk and not paying a dime.
Okay.
You're muted, Nicholas, just so you know.
I can
I
provide-
remember that. Not what happened during, but I remember the event.
I can give you 1 for the room. I can give you 1 to settle his tab.
Not an even value, but I wasn't going to see
quite-
anything from that wastrel anyways. So, yeah, I'll accept that. And I like the cut of your jibe, you pudgy-looking little dude there.
And then I say, and if you would like, and I telepathically communicate to Seeker, gonna have a job for you, buddy. I say, and if you would like, if there were any upgrades available or any guarantees of safety and security and a solid night's rest in the morning, my friend here, and I do a hand sweep over to Seeker.
Hello.
Cat looks really excited for a second, and then
Is something of a handyman with paints, and he could potentially create something that really makes you stand out.
I may take you up on the offer, but
I'll do diplomacy.
Vuna likes pretty things. Everyone else in this dome or this town are reprobates. It's more so I may be interested, but if you're looking for a more long-term stay, which I think you're after, I can make you work.
Well, do you have an office in this building?
I'm standing behind it.
So he's talking about just the bar?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I see anything from behind the bar?
In terms of?
Like just like if there's like, is it a bar that, is it just a straight bar, or does it curve where I can see like what he sees behind?
Just a straight bar.
Okay.
It's a ramshackle affair.
I telepathically ask, oh yeah, they wouldn't be surprised to see holograms or anything like that, right?
Nope.
Okay, so I convey to Seeker real quick, put something behind the gentleman out of view of everyone else where he can see what type of artwork you could make for him.
Well, why though?
Just do it and don't make it weird. Make it nice.
In
My
case that's
kind
what he
of
was
nice.
going for, are there actually other patrons in here?
There are.
Yeah, so I just have him like point it down at the ground near his feet or something like that behind the bar, if he's willing to do it. And then I turn back to the gentleman and I say,
Oh, it's a lady Vesk.
"Oh, it's a lady. I'm
I
sorry."
have no idea what you want me to do. Why do you want me to make a hologram? Why do you want me to spend a spell slot to make a hologram?
Because you're gonna sleep. You'll get it back. Whatever.
I don't know when I'm gonna sleep. I'm not gonna metagame that.
Well, you did just
Literally
rent a room.
That's not
At
even
night?
metagaming
You
to-
literally just rented a
to
room.
go into
Yeah,
bed.
I don't mean to.
Oh, is it night right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's why I asked. As like,
Oh,
what time
alright.
of day is it? Because I'm gonna have us
Well,
spend a
then
night
hell
somewhere.
yeah. I mean,
So
Yeah.
I say, and just as an example of something that he could do for you, perhaps behind the bar, so that you can look at something pretty all day.
this, and I don't know. I remember like
Just like that.
We're not talking about this.
we're
or
talking
this.
about this. Yeah, sure. I'll make the basically I'll make the bar kind of look like it's elegantly carved in like wood, like it's wood that's carved and nice and detailed.
Sure. Yeah. Vuna makes a weird croaking sound in her lizard throat, and says, "That's very nice, but I'm not looking to get robbed every single night. Once a week is about my limit right now, and about as much as I'm willing to handle. If you were looking to really warm up the barkeep, your best bet, like you could do a job for me. Like art is nice, and the trinkets, I'm a little partial to. But I could also just have to
need
kill
help
someone."
taking care of the robbers.
I hear the offer to kill someone, and I go, classic bar comedy. I'll be going to the room now.
Well, that depends on who.
It was very nice to meet you, Valuvula, and I walk off.
Well, wasn't it Jimothy?
Now it's Jiminy, Beluvula, and the actual name of Vuna, but that's fair. So Rai kind of walks off. I see most people kind of trail after him, but like seeing Shirket's eagerness as Shirket tries to pull away, Vuna does one of these, points to its eyes, points to Shirket's eyes. You have more than two eyes?
No, I have more than
He's
two
using
arms.
all of his hands.
All my arms.
And kind of like a come chat with me.
I did say that that depends on who. Like that was real. I actually did say that.
Okay. Vuna leans in to you, and so that maybe so Shirkat can hear as you guys are trailing away up the stairs, and says, "Come see me tomorrow morning, and we'll see if we can get you more permanently set up at Industrial."
Okay.
Also, your fat friend,
Eh.
he seeing anyone? And that's yes. A little fade to see.
Me?
Was he really? Was he still shapeshifted? It's only been 10
I'm gonna
minutes.
give it that 10
Okay.
minutes, whatever.
It's gonna be
I was-
awkward
I was
tomorrow
sure
when you're
Yes,
not.
it will.
I was sure as shit that if I looked like Dustin, at least that way he wouldn't sexually harass me. But the man knows no bounds.
Well, we
Is
were
your
just
name
talking about
Patrick?
Robert Heinlein in Free Love, and he literally
Yeah.
has a character that clones and bones himself. So whatever.
Hey, Kaiba too.
I don't know that reference.
It's a fantastic.
Seto Kaiba, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, I do know that reference, but I didn't know. Never mind.
No, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh. It
Anyway, we're done with this.
We're gonna wrap up tonight's
Never get
episode
the
so we
bad
get
part.
into the after party. I don't know what I just dropped.
Before we sign out, however, I do just want to give Patrick a round of applause. He did not mute himself once today.
I did.
You did.
Ooh.
Good job, Patrick. Anyway,
All
I did it.
right. Well,
No, actually, the real
Pat, you're
question:
muted.
did you ever mute yourself and actually remember to unmute?
Yeah, when I sneezed, when I looked like I was gonna sneeze.
all
A
right.
couple other times when I coughed.
I'm gonna wrap up tonight's episode. You can talk about your bodily functions after. Thank
Not
you
me, I'm
guys
going to bed.
so much
Not
for
yet.
watching. We'll be same place, same time next week, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. EST. We'll be starting up Starfinder again. A couple of the party members are going to get an offer to do some murdering. The other party members are going to hopefully start hunting down tokens, and we'll have a little bit more direction when it comes with the way they're going to handle Industrial Dome and the Most Dangerous Game Show. For this arc, I do see it going for a little bit longer. I'm pretty excited for how things are going to turn out. I definitely have some set pieces that they'll get into. Earning those tokens is going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully next week we get more into that. For now, thank you guys for watching. If you want to help contribute to the season 2 roll table, that's over in Discord at bit.ly/neverdiscord. You can either put it in the actual the chat room for it, or just in the general chat. We can talk about it. If anyone has any questions, you can hit us up there or at Twitter at NSTPcast. And for now, just remember, guys, never split the party, and we'll see you.
Rustinian.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rustinian.
sure.
All right, we're gonna transition to the after party where we talk shop a little bit, and I'm probably gonna have to leave a little early to go pick up kids because they're apparently